I hope you're well. So today I thought I would share my hints and tips with you about Disneyland Paris. I know so many of you are off there soon or thinking of booking a holiday there, and I just thought this would help you guys out because you have been leaving me quite a lot of questions and comments down below about it. So I thought I would just make a video and hopefully it will help some of you guys out. So some of these hints and tips I have learned from previous visits that I've been to Disneyland Paris, and also this time as well because it's the first time that I've taken Freddie, and Taylor was older than Freddie, so I've had to learn a few new hints and tips as well. I also posted on Instagram and Twitter asking you guys for any other questions that you may have in case I don't cover them in my own hints and tips. So I'll go through them at the end of the video. Please make sure, if you don't already, to follow me there. The links are down below as well. So let's get on with it. Okay, so my first one is about fast passes. Now, I don't remember them having fast passes when I was a child, and the first time that I went as a grown-up when Taylor was 4, we saw people getting them and we were like, how are they getting them? What do you need to get them? Do you need to pay extra to get fast passes? So we went into the information and asked. Basically, on everyone's Disneyland park ticket, as you can see here, this is what the park tickets look like. Each of you have a different character, and on the back of here you have your QR codes. I don't know if you can see that just down there. On the rides that you can get a fast pass for, there are little machines. Basically, you go up to the machine, you scan your QR code, and out comes your fast pass ticket. Now, fast passes come in times, so you can't just get the fast pass and turn up whenever you want to ride on it. You're given a time slot, and that time slot is half an hour between the time, so it could be between 1 and half 1, and you have to make sure that you go back in between this time slot to get you in on your fast pass basically. The fast passes are definitely worth it, especially if you're a family like us and you have older children that want to go on the big rides, and then you have a smaller child that you can't take on the big rides, so you're not waiting around as long if they had to queue the whole time. Even smaller rides like the Buzz Lightyear ride, the Peter Pan ride, which was unfortunately closed but is normally a big queue. Every time I go, Peter Pan has a massive queue. I'm just trying to think what other kids rides that you can get a fast pass on. The new Ratatouille ride, I ended up getting a fast pass for that because it's the new ride. It was crazy. The queues were 100 minutes long, so nearly an hour and a half. Basically, all the rides that have a fast pass are listed in the map anyway, so this is what the map looks like. You unfold it all. So this is what the map looks like when you unfold it all. So this is the Disney park up here, and down the bottom is the studio park, and then down the sides you have the lists of rides. Now, the rides that you can get a fast pass on have a FP pass next to it, so you can open the map, have a look and see which ones have the fast pass, but I'll quickly read through some of them. Indiana Jones, Big Thunder Mountain, the Twilight Zone, Rock and Roller Coaster, Peter Pan Flight, Buzz Lightyear, Star Tours, Space Mountain, Flying Carpets, and Remy. So they're all the ones that you can get fast passes on. So there's not a lot, but most of them are the big ones. What's handy for families, as I said, that have smaller and bigger children or adults that want to ride the faster rides. Another thing about passes that some people don't realise, if you're staying in a Disney hotel, you're given magic hours. So the park opens at 10 o'clock for people that are just turning up. Or if you're staying in a Disney hotel, then you get to go in the park from 8 to 10 when no one else can come in apart from the people that are staying at a Disney hotel. So you're given your pass. This is on your reservation form that you give when you go to your hotel, and they rip it off and give it to you. So remember, if you're going into the park before 10 o'clock, you have to take this with you. as well as your Disney park tickets, of course. And when you get to the door, they normally ask you for this if you're there before 10 o'clock, and then you give them your tickets and they will let you into the park. Another hint and tip I would give you is definitely pre-plan your day. Now, there are maps on the Disney website. I'm not sure if you can print them or anything, but definitely take a look at them before you leave home, because you can't pick up one of these until you get to the actual park. So it's not like you can sit on the Eurostar and go through it, or on the flight and go through it and go, right, when we get there we're going here, here and here. So definitely check out the maps on Disney website so you can get a feel for the park and get to know where everything is before you get there, and then you can pick up the map, divide the parks up into the rides that you want to do. It's quite difficult to give you a hint and tip like that because I don't know what rides you're going to want to do. You want to make sure that everything that you do in one park you do at once, then you can move on to the next, because there are separate different lands in the main park. So you have Adventureland, Discoveryland, Fantasyland, and there's one more, where's the other one? Fantasialand. The best thing is, obviously, as I just said, plan your days and just plan where the rides are that you want to do, so you're not going backwards and forwards to different places in the park. Oh, we've missed that ride out. Try and really figure out where all the rides are and what ones you want to do in that land. So I definitely recommend taking a pen with you and sitting there in the evening and circling the rides that you want to do. Also, another hint and tip is, if you've got a young child that is just starting to potty train like Freddie is, there's a few toilets that I've gone, oh, I didn't realise there was a toilet there, because obviously being an adult you don't need to find a toilet ASAP as when you do for a child. So I definitely also recommend circling all the toilets as well, so you know where they all are when you're walking around the park, so you can just lift up your map and go, right, we're here, where's the nearest toilet? There, let's go. So you're not trying to look for the little toilet sign on the map, so you've circled all of them. Next hint and tip is try and book somewhere to eat. If you're going to stay in the park until closing time, what is 8 o'clock I think when we were there, we never stayed in until closing time of the park because we didn't book places to eat. We came out around 5 o'clock and we headed straight to a restaurant. It was pretty much empty. We could get there, be given a table straight away. If you come out of the park at closing time or around 6:30, I noticed everyone coming out of the park, or 6 after the parade. The parade is at 5:30, so everyone sort of came out all at once. So I definitely recommend, if you're going to stay in the park until that time, maybe book a table. On your card that you get for your room is a telephone number. Now obviously I can't show you that because that's the key to the room and we had to give that back in when we left. So you get your key to your room and on the back of it says reservations and the telephone number. I did hear people doing it at reception as well, so I'm sure if you go to your reception of your hotel and say, can you book us some tables for dinner, then I'm sure you could do that as well. Okay, so my next one is snacks and drinks. Now I did mention this in my family essentials. I would definitely recommend taking snacks and drinks with you. Take bottles that you can fill up every morning at breakfast. There's juices there, there's tea, coffee, milk, water. So you can fill your bottles up so you don't have to be spending money that you don't want to be spending. If you don't want to take lots of snacks with you for in the park, what you can do is take a Tupperware pot, dish, whatever with you with a peel off lid and make up rolls that are at breakfast. Breakfast normally consists, unless you're staying in New York or the Disney hotel where you can get bacon, egg and sausages, the other hotels are literally just little small rolls, and you can get ham and cheese and croissants and the little chocolate croissants, yogurts, fruit, toast. Basically a really continental breakfast. I don't know why I'm going through everything. It's a continental breakfast. So what you can do is take a Tupperware dish with you, put a few croissants in there, a few rolls, make up a few ham little rolls to keep you going during the day if you don't want to take lots of snacks with you to Disney. So my last hint and tip is trying to take the minimalist thing that you can take into the park. You just want to try and take one bag, because they are very hot on security for obviously what happened in Paris not that long ago with the shootings. You now have to put your bags through a machine every time you go into the park. So every morning when you leave your hotel, as you're walking to the Disney Village, what you have to walk through to get to the Disney parks, there are machines. So you put your bag on and it goes through the machine and they check in. Another thing that they have also added is when you put your bag on the machine, they ask you to undo your coat and show them so they can see that you're not hiding anything in there. And also Charlie was checked every morning with the bibby thing, I don't know what they're called, basically what they have at a airport, and they go across down your arms, down your back, down your front, down your legs. So this takes an extra 5 minutes to get into the park, so just try and take as minimal bags as possible to get in. Okay, so on to answering your questions on Instagram. So the first one is it not worth the extra money to go stateside rather than Euro? To be honest, I've never been to Disney Florida. My nan did take my mum and my brother in 2011, the year that I got married, and I'm sure she won't mind me telling you how much she spent to get them out there. It was almost £6,000, and that was in normal time, not a school holiday. This question is quite hard for me to answer because I think it depends. I think you need to weigh up the pros and cons. I think it's down to the person, to be honest. If you've got the money to do it, then why not? If we done it, we wouldn't be able to do any other holidays for that year, possibly the next year as well. I don't know if it works out cheaper, maybe doing a big group of people. We have suggested that as doing like a big family holiday and getting a villa between all of us. We haven't looked into that price-wise yet, but we have mentioned it, everyone's sort of agreed, so I don't know if we are going to be doing that, but it would be lovely to take the boys, to be honest. I think Freddie's a tad too young yet. I don't want to be taking him on a 10-hour flight, to be honest, because he's quite an energetic boy. He doesn't really sit still. Even if he's got a telly, he wants to be up, and I don't know how I would cope on a 10-hour flight with him, to be honest. So yeah, that question is quite hard for me to answer. I don't know if it's worth the extra money, because I've never been. On to the next question. Do you spend more time queuing? Also, what age would you say is best for children? Don't want to take them too young. I would definitely say Freddie was just at the right age that we went. He's just turned 3. I think if Freddie was any younger, he wouldn't have taken it all in, and I don't think he would have enjoyed it as much, but I would definitely say 3 up is the right time to take them, because they just have more of an understanding then. And then, do you spend more time queuing? To be honest, if you're going to go on all the small kids rides, queue time for rides come in waves. The day that we got there, we queued 5 minutes for the Lightning McQueen ride. If you saw my vlog, you would know that when I queued for the fast pass for the Ratatouille ride, I waited 20 minutes just to get a fast pass. Charlie said, I'll meet you at the Lightning McQueen ride. I said, that's fine. He's gone up there, I've got there and realised it's a 40-minute wait. So it just shows, like, one day it was 5 minutes, the next day it was 40 minutes. However, if we hadn't arranged to meet there, then he wouldn't have queued, so I wouldn't have queued for 40 minutes for that ride. To be honest, we didn't wait any longer than 20 minutes, apart from that occasion when Charlie waited 40 minutes, but we got on pretty much every ride within 20 minutes. So, and we done both of the parks and repeated the rides in 4 days. Pretty much by day 3 we had done everything. I have never been to Disney, so when you first go, rather than getting completely overwhelmed, where is the best place to start? To be honest, there's no best place to start. So I recommend going to the Studio Park. It's much smaller and it's more child up-to-date Disney. So you've got Aladdin, Lightning McQueen, the Toyland, what is Toy Story, and also the new Ratatouille Disneyland. There is also free shows that you have in that park as well. Animagique, Live Stitch and Disney Junior. So there's quite a lot to do in that park, but it's much smaller than going straight into the main Disney park and walking in and going, where do we go? And you'll end up just walking around if you haven't been there before. So I definitely recommend going to the studio park. But as I said, it's much smaller. You won't get lost because it just goes around in a big circle. So that's the last question I'm going to answer for you. Otherwise, this video is going to end up very long and very rambly. Hopefully you enjoyed it and hopefully it's helped you out and gave you a few answers to some of your questions. Yeah, please give the video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Leave me a comment down below as well. I love reading through them all. And hit that subscribe button if you're new here. So I'll leave the links to my other Disney videos down below in case you missed them. I did a Eurostar bag, family essentials, clothing hauls, and also my Disney vlog. I'll link that down as well. But I hope this has helped you. Have an amazing time at Disney if you're off soon, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!